We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing episodes of the Walking Dead universe. Sometimes we give you news. Sometimes we have a laugh. Sometimes we go deep. But today we have for you a part 2 of our back to Camp Marimac and Walker Stalker talk. Yes, that's what it is. And it's really a discussion about our last October. We went to Camp Marimac Fall Bash, and we also attended Walker Stalker Atlanta. And we just want to go through our positive experiences. We aired publicly our coverage of Walker Stalker, I think it was last Friday, last Thursday. It all starts to blur together. Mostly because we make the episodes available to our coffee backers in advance. So we gave our coffee backers about a little over 24 hours to watch the edited episode of part 2, which we will be presenting today. Give them a little leeway, make them feel a little special. You know what I'm saying? And so they got a chance to actually download and watch that offline. The edited, finished version with all the audio of the hosts in different ears. So in terms of parts, Kate, there are, so far I can easily see 3. I think this is going to top out at 4. As you may have seen in your email, because Kate is a lovely coffee backer. Thank you very much. She's been giving us one coffee a month since October, November. So you get the whole entire unedited affair is like about 3 hours and 46 minutes. So I've been hacking and slashing at it, and I think I've been making really good progress. I think, it's going to be, at least, it's probably going to be about 4 parts, in my estimation. In the meantime, we've got so many other things to even give you until The Walking Dead comes back on February 23rd, in case you missed it. It's pretty cold across the country right now, but I digress. I will see you guys in the chat, and we can talk about how cold it is in the country. We can chat about a lot of things while this episode airs. But anywho, one thing I wanted to bring up before the episode airs, and I will air it right after this message, is I've been trying to push this idea of morning squaffy, and I have not received any bites, fishes, my little fishes. So morning squaffy is this idea, and we want to do it like maybe once a week, at least. Maybe on Mondays, maybe on Tuesdays. Bring it up on Mondays to be aired on Tuesdays. And the idea is we post to all of you to give us something that you wanted to talk about, something that you want to ask us a question of. It's almost like an AMA, but it's more like giving you the floor to talk about anything you want, or for us to talk about anything you want. But it can be a floor for you to vent anything that's going on in your life, on your mind. It could be a question to us. It could be a question to the world, kind of like our Amplify days, but with the intent of an actual response from us. So morning squaffy. Check out the post on our coffee page. It's featuring art from Tilted Tripod 1, shout out. And we will be, so I posted it last week. I want you guys to give us your input on the coffee. It's ko-fi.com/squawkingdead. Or you can click the handy dandy button on squawkingdead.com on the top left that says support the podcast. And just scroll down to the image with the artwork where it says morning squaffy, and just put a little comment in there and let us know what you want us to talk about, what you want to vent out, what you want to air. And then the next day we'll prepare a video response. It'll be me, it could be Rachel, it could be any one of our hosts. And then once we post the video response, it'll be open to the world to comment on in that post so that we can talk about it. I really want to do more conversations with you guys. I really want to talk about more things. There's only so much time in the day, and there's only so much mental bandwidth we all have to talk about things that really don't fall in line with everything else. So anyway, please visit ko-fi.com/squawkingdead. Scroll down to the image of me as a walker drinking coffee, and it says morning squaffy at the bottom, and then just read the post, leave a comment on a topic you want to talk about, and we'll keep the ball rolling. And depending on how successful this works, we can do this every week, maybe even every day. I don't know if I can do that, but we'll see. In any case, I do want to air this episode. So keep in mind, if you do like what you hear, buy us a coffee. We're your friends, right? And what do I mean by that? Head to ko-fi.com/squawkingdead, or hit the support the podcast link at the top left of our website, squawkingdead.com. If you happen to give us a coffee during the stream, you will see your name pop up here as soon as the episode starts. Like right when you give us a coffee, your name will show up in that video forever on Facebook and YouTube. Keep in mind, if you do give us a recurring coffee at least once a month, you'll have access to all our content perpetually, as long as your subscription lasts. One-off coffees are amazing, and you guys are terrific, but I just want to make sure you get the content. So if you do subscribe to a coffee a month, that'll keep the party rolling, and you guys won't skip out on any of this extra content, like morning squaffy, like being a part of the chats. So as we record, you could be a part of the conversation while we're recording. I have something special planned for coffee backers in the coming weeks. I'm planning a special show that will have you guys directly involved in more than just in the real-time chat. So if you haven't subscribed, now's probably a good time to do it. Not now, maybe in a few minutes when the episode starts so you can see your name pop up. But you should consider giving at least one coffee a month. That's $3 a month. And that'll give you access to this special content that we have planned for you guys. In the meantime, enjoy the episode. I'll see you in the chat. So will Rachel. Rachel will be there as well. And away we go. Ooh, aren't you still in your little seats after listening to talking about kids making noises and cassette tapes? Got a little nugget there. Now you're going to hang on, hopefully, if you haven't already gone.
I had fun playing Camera Woman that weekend, too.
A lot. Yeah. You did that a lot.
Yeah.
But you know what, like, me and Rach were joking about this. Like, I totally felt like, because we went to, obviously you and me, Dave, went last year to Walker Stalker, and like Rach, you've been to Walker Stalker in like Chicago, so it's like, you go as like a fan, but this time around, we're going as like press, and I had to kind of remind myself, it's like, oh no, wait, it's like, we have to let them know, because like there's different areas where you can sit and whatever, and I totally felt like, I'm sure you've seen Wayne's World, Dave, like when they go backstage to Aerosmith and they're like,
and you can say it.
No, but they're like, that's what I think of. Like,
the VIP badge?
They're like with their badges, and they're like,
VIP.
Not me. I just walked through the door. I did that a lot last year. I just kind of walked through and sat wherever I wanted to sit. And I waited for somebody to call me out on it like a jerk. And finally somebody did, because I had no idea. I actually didn't know, because I'd always get the panels late. Because I was going from panel to panel.
Yeah.
So what would happen is, and like I'm saying I'm a jerk, but I really just didn't know.
No.
And some lady had to tell me, like, hey, you're not supposed to be in this line. I'm like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What did I do? And she's like, oh no, you just have general admission. I'm like, oh, there's different lines for general admission and VIP. I'm like, all right, well, yes. Where do general admission go? Oh, they go upstairs. There's an upstairs. Like, what? This is, by the way, this last year, all of this was in building A of the Georgia World Congress Center, but now it's in B, and all the panels are in the one hall, Thomas S. Boyland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like last year,
they had different rooms,
right,
and they were like bigger. They were like almost auditoriums where you had like upper levels and
lecture
like balcony.
Halls.
Yeah, like you had like balcony level, and then you had like floor level. So,
right.
Yeah, it's different.
I like that it was all in one. I knew exactly where to go every time.
Yeah.
They made a nice. So I appreciate it.
So it's like Rachael proof.
Yeah, exactly. One room to find. That's fine. I'm not the brightest crayon. I don't care. I need things simplified. I'm okay with that.
I don't have a strong sense of direction at all, so that does
For some reason, that I can do, but okay, unless we're talking like in a building, no. But like for some reason in the world, I'm okay. Like on the road, yeah. I know.
Your math doesn't add
There's
up.
There's too many hallways.
All the time.
No.
Try to figure you out, getting to know you. It's great. I'm not complaining at all. I mean, with both events, I do regret not really participating a little bit. Because I felt like again, I didn't go to one panel at Walker Stalker. I didn't pay attention to any of the auctions.
How many times did I try to get you away from the table?
You did. You were really good.
He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, no, you need to go.
You know who reminded me to eat and drink? The Sunshine Twins.
Really?
Yeah. That's funny. Like, they literally took my hand. Literally, both of them took both hands, led me into Jacob's table, said, order something. I'm like, oh, yeah, that. Then they ordered for me. And they said, okay, we're getting drinks now. You, me, she. Sounds good. We go. Okay. But I needed that. I honestly did need that. I was just like, I have my assistants right here.
There you go.
If we ever do that, they're the first people I'm calling up. Seriously, I don't know how to take care of myself when it comes to these things, because I'm too busy just trying to give people my attention and that, and it's really cool though. I this is not really a complaint. It's more of like oh, I wish I had better time management skills. That's all it is. I mean, just so everybody knows, this is a charity event. I really do think they did a good job of really packing the house. I'm not saying they had more people at this one than they did at the regular charity bash that happens in May, which is coming up, obviously in 2020. But I'm surprised at how many people were able to go. And I think the timing with Walker Stalker definitely helped with that. I mean, it helped me to go. I actually thought that the bash was going to be the week beforehand. I'd be like, oh no, I can't do this. This is stupid. I mean, they had live music too. So, and that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, the bands were really good. Khary, Payton, pet me.
Yeah, that's right. You should tell the people about that. What's the context of that?
Something had just happened. Me, Chris, and Meg were standing up front. Some announcement had just taken place. And Khary was on his way to, I assume, the bathroom, because he was out of there. And he just happened to pass by me. And he's like, oh, I love your hair. And just reached up and pet me. I'm like, thanks. And then later I tried to steal Cooper's
from whom?
dog. No, I tried to steal Cooper's dog. Not really, but I did try to hold him. It was the cutest thing I'd ever seen in my life.
What do you mean by try to hold him? Was that not a thing that happened?
Well, I mean, no, not in the moment in which I asked, because he also was on his way someplace, and gotcha. I assumed the bathroom, and I'm like, I can hold him if you need. He's like, cookie. Oh, I bet. And then just kept walking. I'm like, I meant it. I was kind of serious, but okay. That's cool.
I always find it kind of interesting, though, that, how relaxed does Khary have to be to just allow himself to pet your head? Think about that for a moment, though. The what goes into that. Why, as a person of your I'm going to say stature, just voluntarily invite someone into your sphere, knowing what that would do to them, and what possible shit might arise from that. I think I love you, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, and there was a lot.
Well,
and
does this mean we're married?
Well, I didn't wait in line to see him either.
Right.
I didn't I wasn't. You know what I mean? I was just there.
Yeah, I was fangirling.
I wasn't fangirling, so maybe he felt a little bit safer. I had just helped. I was up front for some. I don't know why. Some announcement had just been taken place, so I was kind of up there with the ringleader. So maybe he assumed something that wasn't true, but he felt comfortable and safe apparently. So
yeah, which is my way of saying that's what this kind of event is. That's how laid back. I want to let people know when they watch this is it's a very relaxed, intimate environment where, if everybody behaves themselves, everybody has a good time, which, I think
they did.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. Nothing happened. There was nobody got, asked to leave or anything like that. It was very low key. It was like hanging out with your friends who sit on the other side of a table.
Yeah. I will admit
one money.
Yeah. Oh, there's money involved in this. All right. No, but like,
for a good cause.
Yeah, it's for exactly. I think that's what I was trying to express before is that like I didn't even know that they were there. Like I knew that they were there, but I was so busy. That's what I was trying to say. I didn't shake hands with them. I didn't say hi to them. Like Khary, Cooper, Pollyanna. Yeah. I did see a little of Sabrina Generino, who played Tamiel. I didn't see Michaela Gibson, who played Doris on Fear.
I did not see Michaela Gibson either.
I know she did the auction.
Saw Marisol.
I saw pictures. Marisol. Yeah, I saw her the next day. That's the thing. That's how busy I was.
Right. Meg and I got an interview with Sabrina, and we did stop and talk to Pollyanna for a minute, and an interview with Peter Zimmerman as well.
Oh, I missed him too. See, I did speak with Jeremy Palko. Do you know why?
We didn't get to see him.
Do you know why?
I do, but go ahead and tell it.
Julie was saying how like
go
over there. Rosita Dixon 01 was saying, go over there and say you want a selfie, but like meanwhile it's for me. We get over there. And this is actually an actual story. We get over there and she goes, he was so shy. like I'm a podcaster, bitch. I'm not shy. Like, and then I go back. I'm like, you son of a bitch. like, first of all, you're acting like you're blowing up my spot, but really you're only blowing up yours because he knows I'm a podcaster. You know, we talk. We're friends. Idiot. I'm like, I'm having heart palpitations. Yeah. Okay. But literally, the first thing he says that she says to Jeremy, she's like, "Oh, he was just so shy. He just wanted to come over here." My God. Meanwhile, she like wants the D. I mean, seriously, she's so thirsty for Jeremy. I'm blowing her spot up now. You deserve this. I'm gonna tag her in the description. I'm gonna tag Jeremy too.
Oh my God.
I might. Depends how things go. This is too gold to not.
I keep forgetting we're not live. Yeah, from the sounds of it, it was reciprocal. She said later he was giving it right back to her. So.
ORLY, really?
I mean, I didn't read any messages, but she said there was an exchange of words.
Yeah, I know that there was a little bit of communication.
Mm-hmm.
He puts up a really good front face. I just don't see him getting into any trouble. You know what I mean? Out of everybody there. Trouble? Yeah. Jenny trouble.
No, you're saying Julie's trouble?
Yeah, Julie's trouble. 100% trouble.
100% trouble. Oh, boy.
If it was a competition between Julie and Alexis, Julie would win I think most times.
I think I got that impression too. Alexis seemed more along for the ride.
Yeah. Although she can get into trouble too, but.
Sure.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be friends with her otherwise.
Nope. I would not. I wouldn't be friends with her otherwise.
Right. That's probably the most exciting things that happened at Marimac, though.
Yeah. For sure.
For me.
Yeah. Oh man, and that's like another regret. I loved hanging out with Jason last time at the last bash, and I got to say hi. We hugged a bit. We were like, "Hey, how you doing, you son of a bitch?" And like, we're just because we hung out. We had a really good time last time, and so I got at least that. But like, I kind of want to just hang around with him and just keep him company and see like last time and see see how he's doing, catch up. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, and this is like at least one thing of note. Is that it's nice to see, and I wrote this on his Instagram when he posted the picture of himself on Camp Marimac Fall Bash. I said it's nice to see the humongous difference in the way you were at Camp Marimac Charity Bash versus the Fall Bash, because when he walked in, I was behind the scenes, like in the green room of Chris's place, which is like there's a microwave there. And that's it. Like, one of those little office back rooms where they keep the little fridge and the microwave. That's Chris's green room. And so like he was kind of like, I don't even know why I'm here. Like, that's literally what he's kind of saying. It's like, well, why am I even here? Like, why do people want to talk to me? I'm like, oh, I don't think you understand how well the Highwaymen were received. Let me show you. And then I show him random. I literally just put like hashtag Highwaymen or hashtag TWD Highwaymen. And then I actually showed him specific posts at the time that I knew of that were noteworthy. And he's like, holy shit. I was like, I did not like, I know the show. I think it's cool. And, you know, but I just came in for like almost like a background actor spot. And like, here I am. Like, I didn't understand the response. And like, yeah, they're gone too soon. And now, you saw him at the Fall Bash. He was all smiles. We have to talk about that story about, was it with Meg or with, who was it with that he was kissing all the time? Was
Chris.
it Meg?
No, it was Chris. He was all over Chris. All over Chris.
But there was something with a camera. Like, he thought a camera was going off. Was that Chris?
Oh no, that was Meg,
right? That
instance was Meg. Yeah, he was taking pictures with all of us, and the ladies behind the table, who it was kind of funny. They were getting very irritated because we weren't paying for any of this. He's like, I want pictures with them, like, and it was his it was his phone. Okay. So he wants a picture with Meg, so he pulls Meg over, and the ladies have the camera up, but it's facing the other. They were taking a selfie of themselves, and Meg and Chris and Jason thought that they were.
Now this is random people, right? Just taking selfies.
No, it's the two ladies who were working his table, who were like taking money from the fans. They were his table people, table lady.
So what I'm asking is, were they taking selfies of themselves, and he thought they were taking pictures of him? That's what I was. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Now the first few pictures, like the pictures of him and Chris, they were taking pictures of him and Chris.
Right.
And every time the flash would start, he'd turn and he'd kiss Chris on the face. It was hilarious. and then after that, he's like, come on. He wanted a picture with Meg too. And that's when they put the camera back up, and they both, he thought they were taking a picture of them, but they were taking a picture of themselves.
so meanwhile, he's kissing Meg repeatedly, thinking this is going to be in a shot. Meanwhile, it's like, what does it look like, huh? Oh, it was just taking a selfie. So I kissed this girl for nothing. Meg is telling me this. She's like, it was just so weird. It was just really weird.
He was very, very affectionate.
I know, and so that's kind of like what I wanted to illustrate is like this guy who went from like, what am I doing? I don't know why I'm here. And then now he's like, I don't care. I'm here. Fun. I love these people. We're doing a thing. It's great. And that was I would say that's probably the highlight of my night, to be honest.
Then we did end up getting a big group shot, which is on his Facebook and probably Instagram.
I was in that, right?
We had somebody to take a picture. Are you?
I don't know. I know I pulled into one or two.
I don't remember, but I know it's like everybody, including the ladies and yeah.
On Camp Marimac's page, right?
Yeah. Well, it's either there or on
the event page.
One of the pages. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Some of the Camp Marimac, the ones that have the little Camp Marimac badge on them, those are really good. They came out really well. I'll say that much. I don't know who those were, but maybe Lance. I don't know. I think we left early. Right?
Yeah.
Didn't we leave at I felt like we left at 9:30. Maybe was it earlier?
I think it was close. I want to say closer to 10.
Yeah. Why did we leave early again?
Because we were tired.
We all had morning flights. Well, actually, you and me had the morning flight. Yeah.
I had been up since 2:30 at that point. Yes. Like, I was almost up for 24 hours. I was ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, you and me both. I really didn't sleep.
Back to Atlanta, almost.
Oh, yeah. And then we stopped by a Waffle House.
We did. Yes,
Request
we did.
for the Waffle House.
My first Waffle House, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I said the same reaction.
You did when we were there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
the first one was very creepy though, with the chairs.
Oh yeah, we went to this first one, and as we pulled into the lot, like there was just chairs blocking the ramp. Just chairs block. Yeah, it was real sketch. Like there's no sign. There was no sign, and so we're like backing away slowly.
Yeah.
Like we're not. This is not at 10:30 at night, like old people. No. Like, it's like, oh, this is a bad neighborhood with all these chairs. Let's get out of here. And it's like nobody's in there, but the lights are on, so that's really creepy.
That was extra creepy. The lights were on. Like, they looked open.
No cars. And so we're like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
But then we did find an open one.
You know what's funny about what you said before about that was your first Waffle House? Is that my first Waffle House was in Michigan.
That's funny.
I'm just thinking about it now, yeah.
My husband's saying no, not anymore.
Oh, that could be. That was like 1999, maybe? It's a legendary story, and it was in October, and it was a spooky, scary night. A misty night, in fact. A bunch of me and college kids were out on the road, and we were just minding our business in a 1982 Toyota Corolla, which we called the Gripper, for good reason, because we had flown over on the highway that night a overturned cow.
Oh.
And we used its back as a ramp. And as we pulled the gleaming guts from out underneath the car, we were happy to be alive. And we stopped by a Waffle House and had breakfast going, oh my God, we're going to hell.
What the heck?
That's my story about a Waffle House.
I don't even know what to say about that either.
Some of us had religious experiences. Some of us renounced God. It was a mess. Literally, too.
Yikes. Yeah. Oh, right? Yeah. Gross.
Mm-hmm. We were pulling barbecue out for the next month.
Gross.
Ooh, disgusting. So Waffle Houses aside, the very next day was the Friday. That was my day. That was my jam. I got up super early. We were setting up the booth. You came in, you decided to help me out, and thank goodness, because it wasn't looking very good.
It was not a one-person job.
Yeah, it could have been, but then we found, had it not been for some of the things that happened, which is like when I started stringing up the sign, our little banner up with twine, you and me, we'd gotten all the corners done, and we kind of just want to straighten it out. Well, one of the sides must have been too tight, so when I think I tightened up the lower left quadrant, like the top right of the banner just fell. And I had like grommets in and everything, like little metal grommets, but like the grommets obviously on paper or whatever this material is just pulled out. So we had like a little crisis on our hands. And so we just flagged down a guy, say, hey, do you have anything to hold up a sign? And like he was like, yeah, I got double-sided tape. That'll do. And we just taped the thing up, like literally taped the banner to the curtain.
Made it work.
On. But yeah, I'm surprised at how long I was able to last working just from the table. Because the place didn't open up until 2 for the VIPs. And then you had the general admissions people coming in at 3 o'clock. And so by the time 5 rolls around, I'm supposed to be done. And I was. But yeah, I was just able to work from the table, talk to people, say hi. Said hi to you, I think, because you came sometime at noon, 11?
It might have been like 11 or so.
Yeah. And so battery is halfway done. For the most part, just trying to hang in there. And at some point, obviously, I run out of juice. I try to do as much work from the phone as possible. Like I'm the kind of person that when I work, I feel bad if I'm not giving people my 100% attention. Like that's why I don't think I've ever drank at work ever. I don't think. And so like doing things the way I was doing it that day was a little awkward for me, but I rolled with it because I kind of just wanted to at least, I knew that I wanted to be around and experience everything and everyone for as long as humanly possible, because how many opportunities are we going to get if you think about within the context of Walker Stalker? Well, then I went upstairs. I went to the International Lounge of the Georgia World Congress Center and just hung out there. There's desks, there's couches, like nobody's there. Right. Everybody's experiencing Walker Stalker. And I'm just like hanging out there. Oh, and obviously I told you guys this story, but while I was up there doing some work, and I was surprisingly productive, but it got to this one point, like, and it was like 5:15, 5:30, something like that. I'm like sitting, and I'm showing the video people this. I'm sitting on my one arm on the left, and I'm waiting for something to finish, and all of a sudden I fall asleep. I just pass out. I wake up like 5:30, 5:40 or something like that.
You know what? We suspected that. There was at one point that you had like gone someplace and you hadn't come back down. Yeah. And like, I think I mentioned it to Rachel. I was like, you might have taken a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing. Like, so
you were, too. That's what we told him.
Yeah, I definitely needed to work. And so, yeah, and I just wanted to bang it out. We didn't have power at our table. So otherwise I would have just stayed there. So I had to do something. And it was only like a couple hours to go. So I stayed down there for like till like about 3:30 or something. Then I had to bounce. I kind of don't remember the rest of the day, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Because there wasn't that much day to have.
Yeah, like that day, Friday, like there wasn't really all that much. It was
like 7? Everything ended?
Yeah, it was like 3 to 7, something like that. So like there wasn't really all that much really going on. I mean, there weren't all that many people there yet either. So, and it's a work day, so it wasn't. It was more of like a setup day.
I think it might have been 8 though, right? Because I know that the next day I think might have been earlier.
Yeah, the weekend was definitely up until 7.
Right. So I think it was 8 for sure. What did we do afterwards? I don't remember.
We went to Hard Rock.
Oh yeah, we were so beat though too.
Yeah, we were tired.
Like the second we put food to our mouths, I think we were like, oh, this is a mistake.
Oh, we were
this is a huge mistake.
We were done.
Like I literally had half a slider. I'm like, I don't know if I want this.
I don't know. I mean,
didn't you have a giant chocolate shake before that too, though?
That's
my God, yeah.
With these frosting sprinkles.
Yeah.
And our waiter
looked amazing. Our waiter was amazing. He was so cool.
He was pretty over the top.
Yeah.
He was funny.
Over the top is more accurate.
Oh my
definitely
God.
more accurate. He kept telling all you, because I can't say you, but like between you, Meg, and sorry, to Rachel, Meg, and Carol, they kept telling the ladies, I can see his penis on your phone. His penis, pretty big. It's a big penis.
Yeah, if anybody was on their phone, it was, oh my gosh, what are you looking at?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was always my penis for some reason. I don't understand.
Yeah, it did always come back to that. I think he had a crush.
I would say that's true, but he took my money. Look, he took.
Well, he thought you were paying him for the entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I guess he thought a 25% tip was, or like 30% tip was like entertainment. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it was an entertainment fee.
But he knows food costs enough.
Seriously.
Yeah, my God. Oh boy.
Saturday was the big day.
Yeah, Saturday was a more interesting day. I mean, just to sum up me, I mean, I was at the table the entire day, and like on one hand, I don't regret it because I met a lot of people. I got to talk to a bunch of people. I met some hardcore Fear fans, like which was really cool because they loved because I started making ad hoc signs throughout the day. I made a sign that said "Take what you need, leave what you don't, help how you can." And then I wrote, then I did another sign. And this is just all based on one of Meg's throwaway mystery bags, like after she consolidated. And I just like took another one and said, free stuff and thangs. And then I put the stickers and the buttons on it too. I think the funniest thing about working the table is what people's impressions of our table was. Mm-hmm. Because they look at the sign, they look at what's on the table, you tell them free shit, they take free shit. And then they start realizing, oh, this is a podcast? like they didn't know what it was. And like it's there in black and white. It says like a podcast pulverizing the episodes of AMC's. Yeah, okay. You know the drill. But like it just doesn't register. I'm not saying people are stupid. I don't do that. Or I have in the past. Mea culpa. But my thing is that it's all about marketing. It's all about what you can immediately visually see up front. And it's like, maybe if we put a couple of huge ass microphones on the banner, people would kind of, all right. There's a thing. There's a thing with people talk. They talk and do things on the internet. Like, if you make it immediately clear, they'll come to the table. They'll be like, oh, okay, you like to talk. It's like, what do you like to talk about? Who do you like to talk to? And then you have dialogue, but literally people would pass by the table and be like, oh, this is SQUAWKING DEAD. Sounds familiar.
I like the people who are like, does that have something to do with birds?
What?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Did somebody say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few people. They were like, when we said, well, we're a podcast, and they're like, oh, we thought it had something to do with crows. Like, what?
You see bird one on the sign, motherfucker?
Yeah. What would it have to do? Please elaborate on this.
I would love to hear your idea, and we'll steal it. It's a bird sanctuary.
Which is why I captioned that picture of us on the Stranger Things couch. All the birds are together.
Yes.
The circle is complete.
Yeah. I also like after they said that, I'm like, all right, I like that. A bunch of birds sitting around squawking. It works.
I mean, that's technically why I called it that.
Yeah.
Zombie squawk, bird squawk.
There you
go. It's a verb. Mm-hmm. And it's a state of being. I don't know.
Okay.
Squawking Dead. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I guess if you use it with Squawking Dead, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. I broke this down in like a personal post, like how I like double entendres.
I think it's ingenious, honestly. I mean,
we are Squawking Dead.
Talking Dead's taken, so this honestly is the next best thing.
Yeah, it's literally the next best thing. I you know what, and like tangenting just a tiny bit, like lately we've been making more connections, like with different people, like artists and other podcasts as well. Mm-hmm. And obviously, so we have that charity bucket on our table for Street Paws, PAWS. Which helps pick up stray dogs and cats in the Georgia state and nurses them back to health, and then finds homes for them. So people I would interact with, like Felicia Ray and another dude that I'm talking to now, and another podcast that I might actually be interviewing for, or for doing like a guest spot. And so when they refer to the podcast, sometimes they put the before Squawking Dead. And I can't tell you how hard it is to not say anything. It's so hard. It's so hard. And this is more about making fun of myself. Because it's not the Squawking Dead. Like, there's no the. It's just Squawking Dead. Because the means, it's just a little of you. It's a little tiny group of, you're the Squawking Dead. I'm like, no. And I literally pulled this shit, like, to a couple of people who came to the table. They would ask, what's Squawking Dead? And it's like, or like, who's Squawking Dead? I'm like, we are Squawking Dead. I literally did decided. And they'd look at me and see, this is what I was afraid of, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I was afraid they'd be like, and then like walk away, literally walk away.
Yeah.
But instead they're like,
intrigued.
They did the thing with the chin and the neck and like,
Tell me more.
And I'm like, relax. I literally say relax. It's just a thing I say at every episode because, we talk to you, you talk to us. We have a lot of audience participation and we try to get to know you as much as we let you in on who we are and what we think. We try to get everybody's voices out on the table and what, when we break down episodes and stuff like that. So that's why we're called Squawking Dead, not like the Squawking Dead. It's like it's about all of us. It's all of us are squawking. The dead are squawking, So the second thing to that is we used to do the thing where we typed Squawking Dead with, capitalizing the first letter. I don't do that anymore. Every time I type out Squawking Dead, I put it in all caps because it just looks better. Just brand-wise, it's just so much better. Again, this is my pathos. I'm putting it all out there. And so when we talk to people and we're meeting people and we're setting up these interviews and stuff like that, it's just one of those things that just gets under my skin a little bit, but you have to be really, really cute about it. It's like, so like you'll try to find a way in and go, so hey, if you're going to write a post, just if you could, put Squawking Dead in all caps, know the beginning. So I'm having to be like, I'm trying to figure out better ways to like be cool about it. I would preface it by saying, okay, here it's time to be a diva right now, so hold on. And then I'll just spill the tea. When was your Mo Collins interview?
Everything pretty much happened Saturday. The interview with Mo Collins was that morning in the green room area.
Which was almost a story in itself.
Yeah, because I mean, it was supposed to be at 10:55. And so I went over to her table and nobody was there. And I was like, Huh. So then, like, I sent you a message, and then I asked one of the girls nearby. I was like, "Hey, do you know where she is? Because I'm supposed to meet with her at 10:55." And luckily, at that time, like Allie from press relations came by, and she was like, "Oh no, it's in the green room." And she kind of like took me behind the curtains and brought me over there.
By the way, which as soon as you'd sent that message to me, I scrambled.
You right away. And then because I was next to her and she was like, "I got her." It was almost like, exactly, like I've got the package.
Package is acquired.
Right, exactly. Like you called her.
Mission is a go.
All business. She was like, "I got her. She's here with me right now."
Yeah, and I felt so bad because I know that her time's like short. Yeah.
No, like she was totally fine with it. She was like, ugh, like I mean, she was just exhausted. So, but she brought me over there, and it was like it was weird. You know, they have like their little green room area where I guess like they go and take their breaks and stuff. So I saw like Michael Cudlitz was there, Abraham, Angel Theory was there, just kind of chilling and
just hanging out.
And so then I sat down with Mo Collins, and she was really friendly, really relaxed. It was just a very chill conversation, just talking about like her character and, you know, background in comedy and how much of that she puts into like her character on Fear, you know, the evolution of her character, what she wants to see in the future, even in terms of other projects. Like, you know, as you all know, as we have been talking about, you know, I do have a bustling household of kids, and she does voices for one of my kids' favorite shows, Puppy Dog Pals. So I was like, "I know you do voices for Puppy Dog Pals." And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, so I was asking her like if she has a fun time with it. And she's like, "Yeah, because it's like, I don't have to worry about how I look. You can just sort of like do what you want or whatever, you know, like just get into it without worrying about like, you know, anything
So what
else."
I'm wearing now, that's what should be wearing.
Like basically it doesn't matter, you know. But yeah, like all in all, it was like, you know, less than 10 minutes. But I mean, it was really relaxed. And then we took a selfie. It was really cool. She was really nice, you know, and it was a really fun conversation. So it wasn't just an interview. It felt like a fun conversation.
It felt like we were friends. Yeah.
In my head.
Which is ideal.
Well, you all were friends in my head until I met you. I mean, except you, Dave.
Yeah, except for me.
Except for you.
This rat bastard came to my wedding and everything. But I mentioned that also because I kind of went to the end of the day and I wanted to talk about Mo. I don't know if a lot of people did this alone, but Mo Collins was just strolling around the floor looking at people's booths.
I think like some people are more relaxed and kind of they're not at that level of
terrifying
fandom that they have to be worried about people running up to them and potentially biting them, that they can feel like comfortable, you know, walking around and just checking things out. Because Seth Gilliam too was kind of walking around and like, and you know, I like relatively unbothered. If Norman Reedus was walking down the aisle, like, you know, I mean, forget it. Like people would be throwing themselves on the floor. Like it would just be ridiculous, you know?
Which is sad, right?
Like, it is. Survive the day.
Like, I mean, if the guy wants to walk around, he should be able to walk around. Like they should all be able to walk around.
Yeah,
like
there's no reason to like, you know, for people to be like almost assaulting him because it has happened, you know.
And what do they think's going to happen? Like he's going to see this and be like, "Oh my gosh, you're the love of my life."
I know. Like, that's what I never understood. What people expect. Like, what do you think is going to happen? You know, but that's the thing. That's why they have to have like him and Jeffrey Dean Morgan like super shrouded in like protection, you know, because there are people who take it to another level, you know, unfortunately. So before even the Mo Collins interview though was the Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Judith panel.
Right, let's talk about that.
That was bright and early. First of all, it was scheduled for 9.
Right.
That started 9.
I think Jeffrey D. Morgan was sick too, wasn't he?
He was sick. He had like the flu or something. Yeah. I took the free shuttle from my hotel over to the convention center, and I got there early, and there was still a crazy line. Even the VIP line was crazy long. And I mean, it went by really quickly once they started like, you know, getting people in, but it was a very packed panel.
And I think it actually kind of pushed everything that day up a little bit too.
Probably, yeah. It was moderated by Ming Chen, from Comic Book Men. Yeah, so that was really cool because
how random too.
It was random. I really did not know he was going to be at Walker Stalker. I think I was telling Meg this, that me and Eddie and the kids went to a small little convention down here in like Palm Beach area, and
he did stories for us for.
Yeah, and he was there, and like, which Eddie was like totally like, because he loves like Comic Book Men and he loves him, you know. So I was like, oh my God, he's here too. That's funny. So yeah, he was the one moderating that panel, and so they brought out Fleming. She was really adorable. She was in like a little cat costume, like cat dress costume. So she was like super cute. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan came out, and of course everybody loses their collective shit. They kind of talked about like, you know, their preparation and their scenes together. And one of the things that I remember is that she was saying like that scene between her character, like Judith and Negan, when he runs off and she kind of finds him and she shoots his bike, you know, and he knocks him off the bike or whatever. And she was saying that she had to hold like a real gun in that scene, because that scene, and I do remember that, it's like a close up, like it kind of zooms in on her kind of pointing like the gun or whatever. Because they get into that close shot, they had to use a real gun rather than something like fake. So she was saying it was, she said it was exhausting because she had to keep holding it up and it was heavy, you know? And she was saying like Negan has like how many paragraphs of dialogue in that moment, you know? So, and she had to like keep it up or whatever. So it was cute because, you know, you don't know all those little like nuances and things that go into, you know, certain scenes and stuff. But the questions from the audience, that was kind of interesting. You get some pretty intense fan people who are just sort of like, you know, can I have a hug? Can you like...
So your interesting is fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was kind of
stupid.
Like, yeah, you
what
know.
a waste of time too.
And the thing is that it's like kind of like me and Rach were talking about it. It's like it kind of puts them on the spot, you know, because it's like they can't necessarily say no because then they look like an asshole if like they don't, you know, kind of say sure or whatever. But meanwhile, like they have to get up, walk over to you, give you, you know, it's like
all with the flu.
Yeah, all with the flu.
Did Ming Chen express that if he was a fan of the show? Is that why maybe he was moderating?
He did say that he was a fan, yeah. He did kind of express that he was like a fan. So
well, that's good. I mean, as long as he knew who the characters were that he was interviewing, right?
Right. Yeah. It's like, what am I doing here? What job is this?
It's so easy.
What comic book are you from? Yeah.
I'm getting paid for this, right? No.
Yeah. Oh my God. Isn't that so weird? Like I can imagine that's what happened when we were at the 90s after party that day.
He was there too.
Yeah, he was just hanging out with us. Yeah,
he seems like a really down to earth. He seems like a really down to earth guy. Like even at that like small con that we went to in Palm Beach, he was like really friendly, really chatty, like just very like easygoing. So it probably got offered to him, and he was probably like, "Yeah, cool, I like the show. All right, sure."
Yeah,
you know, I don't know. It's still so weird for me to see people in real life. It's if that makes any sense.
That you see on the TV, right?
Yeah, it's just so strange. And some people are like, oh yeah, they're just like you and me or whatever. And some people are like, to me, intimidating, you know?
Right. Okay, so in terms of Cailey and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, did you feel that way about either of them? Like,
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is super intimidating. I could never interview Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. Absolutely
not.
not.
Like each had our moments this weekend, didn't we?
You remember, I finished that panel and I came to the table. You guys, you're like, you're glowing.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes, she was.
That's the same look that Rachel had when she saw the dream sequence in our last episode. Which, by the way, episode 74 is available in audio podcast. But if you really want the double dimples that Rachel was showing, you can watch it on any video platform. But yeah. But Cailey, same. Cute as a button, right? But in terms of intimidating versus just like you and me,
just like
she seems like
adorable.
But she seems like I wouldn't say intimidating, but when you see her in interviews, it's kind of like, yes, she's adorable. Yes, she's just so articulate and professional, and She just seems to know what she's doing. That's kind of intimidating to me. Like,
but she was very personable for what she does. Like, she has to be intelligent and she has to be articulate and she has to be expressive, but
she doesn't have to be.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like, it kind of like, I would expect that there's a certain level of that she must have in order to be able to express these lines convincingly.
She is adorable, but I don't have this like I'm not like, oh, I gotta meet her. Like, I wouldn't even know what to say.
I wouldn't even know what to say. Yeah, exactly.
I'd be like, so what kind of games do you play?
Right. Right.
I would talk to her like my son. I mean, they're almost the same age.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at her like if she was like one of my kids or like my kids' friends. It's like, it's, you know, she's cute. I don't know what I would ask her like in terms of interviewing a child. But to be honest, even with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like, from the intimidation factor, it's like I wouldn't even know what to ask because I'd be like, oh my God, I don't want to say some really stupid shit.
Yes.
You know, like, I don't want to ask.
Your thing is like, even if you have the questions, you think there's a part of it's like, I can't ask this. What? No, I don't want to do this anymore.
I was like, no, this is just no. Like, this
abort.
Is stupid.
Bail out. Eject. See, I think it's doubly hard for me when it comes to Cailey Fleming, because it's kind of like, I mean, I'm good with kids. It's just that sometimes there's that little part in your brain going, is this right? It's okay. I'm like a 40-year-old man commenting. This is like the worst. This is like the lowest bar, but like, I'm like a 40-year-old man commenting on a 12-year-old
You're more concerned about appropriateness.
Instagram.
Right.
Oh, how it looks, yeah. But like, I'm the kind of person that will get over it if I set my mind to it. I will get over it because there really, essentially, really isn't anything wrong with it. It's just a perception thing, and I think it's mostly in here, you know, in your head. How many kids are on the show that you just say, "Oh, good job, little one"? Like, you try to say the right words because you're a 40-year-old man. And it's like, so you can only imagine how it would be to interview somebody like that. You know, I can't even. I mean, I'd be great, but there'd be that initial like overwhelming thought of like, there's something about this doesn't look right. Scooby.